really nothing can be known, because all that can be known is the knowledge that someone has. So really actually everybody's pretending to know when they don't really know. It's a kind of false knowing, but actually there's really no ability to know life, because life is not knowledge, and the only thing you can know is knowledge. And knowledge is man-made, it's artificial. If you go back far enough, sounds were being made, humans made sounds. Then there was certain meanings that were attached to those sounds, certain interpretation and meaning. That became language. Language became the basis of thought. For instance, someone that is German, they think in the German language. Someone that is English, they think in the English language. So the basis of thought is the language, and it's also the images that have been kind of snapshotted from what is seen and then put into the memory bank. So there is language, words, thoughts. That then becomes the interpretation of what is taking place, which becomes experience. Experience becomes memory. Someone remembers how they interpreted what seemed to be happening. Then the memory becomes knowledge. Oh yeah, I remember this happened, and I learnt from this not to do this, or to do this. That became then the knowledge. And then the knowledge became, again repeated as thought, influences the next thought. And that's it's like a closed loop, a closed cycle. Begins with thought, ends with thought. So all that can be known is what's inside of that closed loop. The known. But life is not within the known. Life is not knowledge. So that bubble of knowing, memory, knowledge, thought, is closed. It never touches life. And it can't know life. So for most people, what they think they are is self-knowledge. It's the part of the knowledge which refers to a sense of self. They say, this is who I am this old, this race, this nationality. That's their self-knowledge. Including things like soul or consciousness or awareness. So that's spiritual knowledge, which has then become a form of self-knowledge for many people. But that's not life. That's not what really is. So it's like a trap, it's a bubble. And that knowledge is carried, and so it becomes a distortion of life. It's like a filter, like a layer. So it's like a false knowing. There's no true knowing in that, because within that is also the knower, which is this self-knowledge, the one that thinks that it knows. I call that sometimes the artificial self. It's an artificial man-made sense of self, based on thought, based on knowledge. So somehow that may come to an end, as it's seen maybe to not be valid or true. Valid in the sense that it cannot tell you anything about life. Somehow that is sort of purged, deleted out of the system. And then there is a return to what is just pure and natural. This knowledge is like a software, and it's passed on really from generation to generation. Because really that knowledge is like world knowledge. It's the totality of man's knowledge. It's like a hive mind. And that's passed on from generation to generation. So that then interferes with the natural flow of that living intelligence, in which it cannot really be what it actually is, because that knowledge interferes with that flow. It cannot freely flow. There's a kind of distortion, a kind of interruption. It's been kind of hijacked or hacked by that world knowledge, artificial knowledge. So that's the knowledge that people have, that gives them a false sense that they know what everything is. Oh, I know what the tree is, I know what the bird is, I know who I am. But you cannot know. It's not possible to know, because you can't know through thought, because thought is trying to encapsulate the whole universe, but it's limited. Knowledge is limited, thought is limited. So can a limitation truly grasp the unlimited? And life is unlimited, universe is unlimited. So it's not possible to be grasped by something that is limited. It's kind of like similar to saying that an ant can understand quantum mechanics. Right? The discrepancy of intelligence is just too much to use that as an analogy. So in a similar way, thought is so limited that it cannot reach, comprehend, grasp the infinite. But thought is emphasized, knowledge is emphasized to be the highest of intelligence in society. Right, from a young age you're taught to memorize and to repeat information. To learn knowledge, memorize, repeat that knowledge. And you get rewarded for that. Praised for that. But there's a different kind of intelligence. There's an instinctive intelligence that's different than that intellectual intelligence, which is not really intelligence actually. It kind of borrows intelligence from the true intelligence, which is more like a response. It's more sort of intuitive. It's more flowing. It's really a mystery, just as life itself is a mystery. But through the knowledge destroys the mystery. Because it says, I know what it is. And it chops it up and slices it up and dissects it and thinks that it knows. When all that it has done is just created more separation, more segregation, compartmentalization, in which it cannot see the whole. So therefore it cannot see life. Life is seamless in a way. So that's the kind of knowledge that is glorified. It is said that to be intelligent is to have that kind of knowledge. Good memory, good intellect, a lot of knowledge. And the other kind of intelligence is a kind of shunned, or often not even seen as an intelligence at all. So actually everyone is pretending to know. But for many people they are convinced that they do know, so it's not like they are consciously pretending to know. They actually think that they do know. But what might happen is, by seeing that you can't know through knowledge, that you can only know knowledge and not life, through that knowledge, then maybe less reliance upon that knowledge happens. Maybe that knowledge is not held so tightly, in which then it has the ability to be kind of deleted out of the system, or sort of put to one side, so that the real intelligence, that response, can be there, can shine forth.